Now over here, almost finished the book.
Yeah. There's another volume.
Apa?
There's another volume.
Second volume.
Oh, there is one. You have a book?
Eh?
Yeah. MashaAllah. Amazing book.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, welcome back to our monthly session of discussion of our book, our Master Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, his Sublime Character and Exalted Attributes. So, we will be discussing a topic from the book each class, and we have a speaker to come in, a scholar, to discuss the content of the topic and share some insights from within and outside the book for your benefit. We are also live on Piecemeal Facebook page. So please feel free to share it around, and we'll have some session for Q&A at the end of the session. So please pass over your questions. You can put it in the WhatsApp group or ask here if you are present physically. So without further ado, I pass the floor to Habib Abdurrahman Al-Haddad to speak on this topic. Over to you, Habib.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah bil alamin. Allahumma salli wa sallim وبارك وكرم على سيدنا محمد وعلى سيدنا محمد اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد سيد الأكوان الحبيب الرحمن الحاضر مع من صلى عليه في كل زمان ومكان السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله. We cannot thank Allah enough for being able to be present today in this blessed place, in this among people who are loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's my privilege to be with all of you again. You know, when I was a young man, 50, I never expect to reach this age, you know. So there must be a reason behind this, and that's why we should always be appreciative of what Allah has given us and what Allah has done for us. When the biggest thing, the biggest single thing that Allah has given us is Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So we would fail in our duty if we don't learn about him, know about him, and try to emulate him in as far as our capacity can go. And it would be so, we will deprive ourselves if we do not learn from him and practice what he teach. For those there are people, and he quoted in hadith with Sayyidina Aisha, that there are people who, his nation, who goes to heaven, yet will not be able to meet him. So certain conditions are required, and if you don't learn and know this condition, you will be in heaven, but they will not see Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yeah, so we will be among the losers. So I congratulate the organizers for picking the book and picking the place for us to expand our knowledge, bit by bit. And I think today's topic is a very important topic. We find that the more we learn about the Prophet, the more we love him, you know, we love him. And when you love somebody, you miss somebody. When you miss somebody, you will try to emulate that person. This is what the lesson is about. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nawaitu at-ta'alum wa-at-ta'lim wal-mudhakar wa-at-tadhkir wal-nafa' wal-intifa' wal-istifada wal-istifada wal-haddu ala tamassuki bi kitabillahi ta'ala wa sunnati rasulih sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa du'a'u lil-huda wa dalala lil-khair ibtigha' al-maghdi wa gubi wa thawabi subhanahu wa ta'ala amin Allahumma amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are going to continue reading this book and try to expound on it so that we get a better understanding. Now, I find that one of the things I learned from reading Shama'il of Tanmili, Tamir, Nabhani, and Ibn Kathir, and now with Abdullah Sirajuddin, that you sort of close your eyes, and when you learn and you read, you imagine him, you know? Imagine him like you're watching a video or something like that, you know, and that is profound. I think it's getting more and more profound. So we try to do that. When we talk about he likes something or he doesn't like something, or in this case, what makes him angry, what we learn tonight, what makes the Prophet angry? And we try to imagine when he's angry, you know. Maybe something a little bit, I was thinking of something personal. I have this vein, you know, there's a vein that runs from the top of my forehead to above my eyebrow. This vein will stand out when I'm angry. And my mother used to tell me, Allah yarhamah, no, watch out, he's angry. Because she noticed the vein comes out, you know, from top of the forehead, it's crooked like that. So now people can know when they're not just by the appearance of the face. Prophet Muhammad, when he was angry, his face becomes red. He doesn't raise his voice, but his face becomes red. And let's see what Abdallah Sirajuddin say about Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, why and when he gets angry. Okay. The Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, his anger, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, for the sake of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and his deep concern for Allah's command. The Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would be angry for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, and pleased with what pleased Allah. No affair of this worldly life would ever make him angry, nor would he become angry for his own sake. Rather, he would only become angry for the sake of his Lord Azza wa Jal. Now, the Prophet Muhammad said that he everything that he teaches, everything that is sunnah, everything that he nods or negate or behavior or approve or disapproval, everything comes from Allah. He said, I have nothing that I teach that comes from me myself. Everything. For he said that Allah is the best of teachers. Allah is my teacher and is the best of teachers. See, he was born when his father already passed away. And normally, the father is normally the first teacher of the child. And his mother died when he was 4 or 6 years old. This is done on purpose. This was done as planned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he explained, and Prophet Muhammad also explained that he is an orphan because there is no teacher better than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah wants to give him the best. And so Allah is the teacher. So when Allah is your teacher, you have a perfect teacher and a perfect student. So he said that everything that which means if Allah is a teacher, Ahsan Ta'dibi, one who teach me everything, then it's logical that he do what Allah pleases, because that's why he learned. And nothing he does except it is with the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he gets angry when people don't follow Allah's law. It's not his law, it's Allah's law. So he gets angry when people disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the point he gets angry. Only for everything he does for the sake of Allah. And Allah teach him to do that. So it's all sort of neatly falls in place. Okay? Like you can say he's a mirror, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's a messenger and a mirror. I mean, if somebody does something, it's only his duty to correct the person. It's his duty to be angry. It's his duty to bring people to the right path, as taught by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one mirrors the Prophet. He mirrors Allah, and we mirror him. And we also mirror our Salafun Salih, those who are before us, who have attained such divine closeness to Rasulullah SAW that they follow everything that he do. Everything is sunnah that he do, they follow. We are encouraged to follow the same. Not only that, because he's got the best of teachers. He is now our teacher. Rasulullah SAW, al-Mu'allim, the teacher, is one of his names is al-Mu'allim, teacher. So now, what is interesting for us to do is, we are all learning. Every day, from the time we are born until the time we die, we are learning. Ilm doesn't stop. So the question is this, how much do we portray the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad SAW? How much do we portray? Not only that, because he is teaching only what Allah teach. So whatever he teach is something that we must follow as Muslim. But he is teaching great virtues as a person. Although Allah teach him, as a person he shows great virtues. Imam al-Haddad, you know that he is one who is a dear lover of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said that, I hope, he made a declaration, I hope I have done all the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, except keeping my hair to my shoulder. That was when he said it. But when he died, his hair was kept long until it touches the shoulder. So which means he did 100% of the millions of hadith that the Prophet ﷺ taught us. And he said it, I am saying this not out of pride, but to encourage you to follow me. You know, people like that have no problem. He is a teacher of the subject of purification of the heart. He doesn't have a problem with his heart. So he made it clear that it's not because of my pride, because I want you to follow, to be a good example. And the Prophet is a good example. So we are all mirrors. So I try to mirror my father tried to mirror his father, and go and so on. So there is nothing wrong in us learning, not only just from the Prophet, but from the teachers who have learned from the teachers, who have learned from the teachers, who have learned from the teachers, who have learned from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is why I grew up in an environment that we do not learn anything, any topic, any words, any books for knowledge, that knowledge does not come from the people who learn from the people who learn from the people who learn from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If he is not, doesn't have what we call the golden chain of transmission of knowledge, we will not. We have to stay away. We have to maintain the sanctity of knowledge, what we call the sanctity of knowledge, that it is actually taught by the Prophet. And only people who have learned from proper teachers, who have got the license to teach, that we say, okay, his teacher has given him a license to teach, then we follow him. If it doesn't come to, we have a chart, I don't know whether you have it here, but we have a chart that shows the chain of transmission of knowledge from me to my father, my teacher, and also all the way to the Prophet. Outside this, we are not encouraged. You know, we know of one of our teachers, Abdullah Sirajuddin of Mukha, and one of my friend, Allah Yarham Habib Hisham, he passed away, younger than me, he passed away. He took a book like this, and he came to see Habib Atta Sabshi in Makkah, and he put the book down and he conversed with his teacher. In the conversation, he asked some questions and he talked about it. And he said, okay, I take my leave now, I'm going back to Jeddah. This is in Makkah. And he said, before he stepped out of the house, stepped out of the position with his teacher, the teacher Habib Atta said to him, don't open that book. Simple instruction. Don't read, don't open the book. So people have got achieved special position with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see things which we normal people don't see. Habib Atta is one of those. I have the privilege of meeting him and sitting with him, and I went in the room once, and the room was dark. It was a wedding, but he was alone in the room. I accidentally barged into the room, and the room was bright from his face. I had the privilege to see Noor in the face of a pious and knowledgeable man. Now, so we try to be mirrors. So this is good about studying Shama'il, is that we try to, every time, that's why the length between lessons is 1 month here. It's too long. 1 week is best, because you learn something today, you try to practice it for the next week, and then you add more knowledge, and you practice again, and you add. But here, 1 month is quite long now. So today, I hope that we remind ourselves that whatever we learn, we immediately put it into practice. And before long, you will be doing things that the Prophet does without even trying. You know, it sort of becomes second nature to you, you know. Like yawning, the Prophet yawned with his left arm like this. We all tend to yawn like this, and without even realizing that this is, without even saying, okay, I'm doing a sunnah, no? But it's become natural, like going into the bathroom, stepping out of the house, and several of the sunnah, which is what normal people do every day. We always think about the sanctity of the position of Muhammad SAW, that we cannot attain that. No. What he teaches is everything, from the what you say when you look in the mirror, what you say when you see a snake. He teaches you what you say when you want to conjoin with your wife, with your spouse, He teaches everything. What about you? He even talk about foreplay, I mean, there's nothing left out from him, and it all comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because nothing that he teaches doesn't come from Allah. Now, the hadith of Hind bin Abi Halala, narrated by Tirmidhi and others, include the description of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The affairs of this worldly life would not make him angry. You miss your meal, your mother will scream at you, or you don't eat your meal, but he doesn't get affected by anything has to do in this world. No. Okay? But if the truth was threatened, if somebody wants to challenge the law or oppose the law or do something opposite to the law, then he gets very angry. And he starts to be angry by having his red face. Face becomes red with anger. Because his sole purpose in life is to serve Allah. So if Allah's law is being compromised, he would definitely get angry. Yeah? I learned this from my teacher, Habib Ahmad bin Sumet, and before that, and Habib Saleh Tanggulu, who died in 80. I went to see him. I was a young man, and I had long hair, shoulder length hair, young, of course. You can smile or you can. I survived, and he was a big ulama. He was a kutub of the dunya at that time. And I went to see him. I told him, my father said, "When you come, I know why you come." He knows everything. He ever went from top to bottom. But here comes a young man with jeans and t-shirt, with long hair. He never said anything about it. Never. He came. I said, "Come, I'm having breakfast. Sit with me." I sat beside him, and he took his breakfast in his hand, some bread soaked in soup, and he fed me. I don't know what's going on. I just, you feed me, I makan lah, But apparently it has a lot of meaning of transmission of part of his gift from Allah to the next person. So I was very fortunate. But things like that don't come first, You don't, for example, somebody who is young, haven't found the footing yet, you don't say we get angry about his hair or his dressing. Go to the principal issues first. When Muaz bin Jabal was on his camel and he was sent by the Prophet to go to Yemen, and he was on his camel, and Rasulullah was on the ground, and Muaz asked Rasulullah, "What shall I teach them?" Then Prophet Muhammad said, "La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah." After that, what? Teach them Salah. Then he left. Muaz went to Yemen and spread the religion of Islam. What that hadith was trying to tell us is that you teach principal issues first, simple principal issues. Today we have a problem within our society of the clerics, the clerics of society. When somebody wants to become Muslim, and this happened to me, my daughter wanted to marry, the first thing they ask him to do is to go to hospital and circumcise. This guy will be terrified, man. I haven't even joined the religion, you want me to go and, This is not logical. Wait first, let him take some time. Somebody comes in the majlis and doesn't wear, like lady, doesn't wear. We do not object. Because we are committing sins more than that lady is committing. So who are we to go and say that? But let he choose the time when she's ready to do that. I have no problem with people who are studying it, but because there are bigger things more important to cover than what we call some minor, these are minor things. There are some things we call, I have a friend called Islam, there are two types of values. There are fixed values, there are variable values. Fixed values you cannot change. This is what Prophet Muhammad get angry about. When fixed values are compromised. When variable values are compromised, he's not worried. You cover your aurat, but how you cover is up to you. That's variable. Fixed is cover aurat. Variable, how you cover aurat. So this is where we have to be discerning, especially in the way of da'wah, so that not putting people away, you know. Anyway, nothing would quiet his anger until he had a Chief Justice, which means he persevere. If he see an injustice, he will persevere until that is corrected. And in the previous part of this book, we have covered several sessions where in conversation between a Sahaba, he actually was a bit pushy. But when it comes to fixed values, only when it comes to fixed values, he would never become angry for his own sake, nor would he seek to avenge himself. And this, we related the story about Sayyidina Ali, Karamah Wajah. He was in the war, and you know, he's a very strong man. His sword, only 3 men can carry the sword. He's doing it alone, you know. One swing of the sword will kill 3 people, you know, and that's how he was. And he went and he killed all the mushrikeen, and finally there was one left, and he put his hand up. He put the sword up, and he was going to chop this fellow off. And this man, he spit in the face of Sayyidina Ali. Spit, and the spit was on the cheek of Sayyidina Ali. And Sayyidina Ali let go his sword. Then the man asked him, "Why don't you kill me? You have the sword. I'm here. You just have to kill me." He said, "No. I don't kill you because of my anger. I kill you because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." See, he's very cautious about, he's discerning about, you know, I kill for Allah, not because somebody scold me and I get very angry, not because of my anger. This is the same as the Prophet. He follows the Prophet as well. And Prophet heard about this, about Sayyidina Ali, and said, "That was a noble thing that you did, Sayyidina Ali." Allahu Alam. Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he would never seek to avenge himself. Another one of the grandson of Sayyidina Ali, Ali Zainal Abidin bin Sayyidina Hussein bin Sayyidina Ali bin Abi Talib, who's married to Fatima, who is the daughter of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Sayyidina Ali bin Abi Talib, the son-in-law, has a son named, 2 sons, Hassan and Hussein. We know them, very well known. Some of us here are descendants of Hussein. And Hussein has a son named Ali. Ali was 11 years old when he saw his father's head chopped off. Sayyidina Hussein was ambushed in Karbala, and his head was chopped off. And then they took his head and they put it on a stick, and they parade around town with the head of Sayyidina Hussein, who is the grandson of the Prophet. How can we not feel for Sayyidina Hussein? Sayyidina Ali saw this, but revenge is not his. So he continued, he saw it. He has a sister who looked after him, Sayyidina Zainab, and we visited their graves in Masr, in Cairo. And Sayyidina Zainab was sad seeing her father being murdered in such a manner. No? The body was buried in Kabra, the head was brought all the way to Masr and buried in Masr. And but Ali continued. He grew up and became a man, and he learned from his sister, he became a man, and he teach. He continued to teach in the mosque as if nothing happened. Would we do the same? Could we do the same? When you see our father being killed in that manner, in such a hideous manner, would we be the same? No, we get very angry. He never. This is Allah's work, not my work. My work is to do the da'wah, to bring the religion of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the people. So again, this is mirroring. We mirror the Prophet. He, Sayyidina Ali, Zainal Abidin, he mirrored the Prophet. We mirror the Prophet. How well do we withstand being cursed, being shouted at, being hated, being despised? How well do we handle that? That is what we as Muslims measure ourselves, not by killing blood, what do you call it? Blood for blood, ear for ear, eye for an eye. No. That's Allah's work. We have to maintain ourselves. We are first Muslims, then we are man or woman or whatever. So this is what Prophet is teaching, telling us to do. Mirror him, but don't take things in our hand. And maybe, just maybe, In fact, I had I had a friend, one of our students here, his mother is seriously ill in the hospital. I went to the hospital just now, but they wouldn't let me in because she's in ICU. And I'm trying to console the family that Allah is not evil. Please don't, please take out from your heart and from your mind that this is not good for you. No, it takes a lot of effort. Yes, you are probably losing your mother, but Allah, you must remember that Allah is not evil. Allah don't cause this to happen because He's evil. No, He's allowing this to happen for you. You are the one who's facing this. How do you react to it? How do you handle the situation? Right? So it's up to us. But for us, when for our own family experience, when her mother was towards the end of life, we were very sad because we were going to miss her. But when she died, we were very happy. No tears when she died. Before she died, yes, there were tears. But after she died, there was joy. Because we know that she's in a better place. And that's how we handle things. You know, so everything negative that happened to you, you just think, what would the Prophet do? If you can do that, just for a moment, you will find that your reaction will be different than your initial reaction. Somebody spit on you or curse you, you get very angry. But if you can handle it, you elevate yourself to a position that you do right, you can do what you like. I'm still a Muslim. Then you are a very strong Muslim. Yeah, a high level of Muslim. If one looks into the things that caused the Prophet to become angry, one will find that every single one of them was for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, and for the sake of Allah's command, and His ascendancy in His religion, in Allah's religion, and the ascendancy in the religion. You elevate yourself by be angry only for the sake of Allah. You know? And I had this question in my online class on religious advice and counsel on faith every Saturday night. And we talk about the punishment or the consequences of people who don't pray 5 times a day, you know. So what are the consequences? How does jurisprudence handle this? So I said, first I was describing. After my description, I said, how can you do it to your daughter? I said, wait, let me finish. I said, so first, when somebody don't pray and you are the master of the house, in your office, you are the master of the office, if you are a master, then it's your duty to employ this step-by-step process to enforce the evil of the sin of not praying. The first thing to do is to advise a person. Right? Advice. You have provide prayer mat, there's water to take wudu, you provide advice. Pray 5 times a day. Pray, wake up and pray. If the person under you refuses, then you go to the next level, which is counsel him. Advise him. Okay? Advise him on what are the consequences of if you don't pray. Okay? Because prayer is the single most important worship that we have to Allah. If you do prayer is good, everything is good. Prayer is bad, everything is bad, even if it's good. So the third thing is to isolate the person. Isolate. The fourth thing is to don't feed the person. You cannot eat with us. You're not praying. I advise you. I've given you a facility. I show you how to pray. I give advice. I counsel to you. I isolate you. You cannot eat with us. This food is haram for you. Leave the room. Go to your room, or something like that. And then, if still doesn't pray, then you have to extricate her from the home. You cannot have a mushrik stay in your home, because the hadith of Allah said that بين المسلمين والمشرك ترك الصلاة. The difference between the Muslim and the mushrik is the avoidance of salah. This is from the Prophet. So if you pray, you are a Muslim. If you don't pray, you are a mushrik. And you cannot feed a mushrik from unless he's a guest, unless you're doing da'wah. Then I was asked this question by the students. How can you do that to your own daughter? So you mean your daughter don't pray? You know? You have to do. You know why? Because that's not your daughter anymore. She is a mushrik. She has willingly and by her own will and power chose to leave the religion. So, the question was when we talk about faraid, which is after somebody died, the property is distributed among the beneficiaries. So, can somebody who don't pray, can he become beneficiary? The answer is no. Because when somebody don't pray, that person is a mushrik. When you are not a mushrik, you are not entitled to faraid. Mr. Lawyer, you will tell me. Sana, but difficult. She boy, what if your own daughter? I say, you have a problem there, man. What if I die and she won't get my property? She won't even get heaven. How to talk about your property? What's the point to talk about property when you don't get heaven? Address that first. Huh? Many people take prayers too ladi because we are programmed by Iblis and social media and all that. Never mind, when I get old, I'll pray lah. No. How you know you're going to get old tomorrow? I saw somewhere in YouTube somebody who challenged that if Allah is really there, He will make me die in 1 hour. Somebody challenged Allah like that, If Allah is really there, He put me to sleep with death in 1 hour. 1 hour He died. Yet people don't believe. He actually gambled away his life, gambled away heaven, and say, if Allah is really there, He will make me die. 1 hour He died after that. Anyway, my point is, we have to. These are things that make Prophet really angry. Like if somebody have a will and disbalance or imbalance in the distribution of the will, this is all not. Rasulullah will get angry with things like this. No, the law is already set out. You just have to follow the law and comply with the law. Okay? One Bukhari and Muslim read the Aisha anha said, the Prophet Muhammad SAW came to see me and there was a curtain in the house decorated with pictures. His face filled with color, that means red in color. He took down the curtain and tore it up. The Prophet Muhammad said, some of the most severely punished on the day of resurrection will be those who fashion such pictures as these. The curtain have animate picture, maybe animals or flowers, I don't know. But what's wrong with plain curtain? If this is what we interpret. Because he said that the most severely punished on the day of resurrection will be those who fashion such pictures as this. I remember when I was small, and we still practice it today, that when somebody died in the house, people will take white piece of cloth and cover all mirrors and cover all pictures. I don't know whether you have seen that or not. Yeah, basically, it is from the hadith of Muhammad SAW who said that the angel of mercy, Rahmah, will not enter a house with a picture in it. Angels of mercy, that means Malaikat or Rahmah, will not enter the house if there's a picture in it. Now, there are some views among the scholars about this. I have a picture of my father and my grandfather and a list of all the holy people of the past. I put it there not to worship them, but to remember them. So there is a positive element in having the pictures. I put it there because every time I finish my prayer, I say, Ya Allah, I give this Fatiha to Prophet Muhammad SAW and all the people in this picture. I don't want to name 99 of them. There are 99 faces, and then my father and my grandfather. I will say, I give Fatiha to all of them in this picture and my grandfather and my father. So that's the purpose. So that such a purpose becomes a good thing. It's a bid'ah hasanah, right? But even so, we will close their pictures during. But if we have statues, for example, or animals in our house, then we should not copy them. We should be angry about it. So we cover them. In the painting, some people say 2 dimension is okay. Some ulama says 2 dimension is okay, but not 3 dimension like a statue, a horse, or And they say also it's okay if it's a child's toy. It's okay. These are some of the fatwas that have been given by some of the scholars. If a child is playing with a toy, that's three-dimensional. But because it's a plaything, it's not meant to worship, it's not meant to emulate God's work, then they say it's okay. But we can try to minimize this, no? Kan? Yeah. I don't have my photograph on the wall. I don't have no time to read Fatiha for me now. Later. Another example of this is anger upon hearing of any action that might frighten of a believer. This is very important. This happened to us today. Bukhari Muslim and others narrate that Abu Mas'ud anhu said, a man came to the Prophet Muhammad and said, "O Rasulullah, I delay joining the dawn prayer because of so and so, somebody. Because he makes his prayer too long. So I don't join the prayer early. I join the prayer later. Because he's reading his Fatiha and the Surah, very long. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And after that has to go to pray. Maybe you want to go to work. No, this fellow is praying Surah. And this makes the Prophet very angry. And he said that, I never saw, then after that he said, I never saw Rasulullah SAW more angry in admonition than he was that day. He SAW said, "O people," he announced to the people, "some of you are the cause of alienation. Some of you are the cause of people to turn away from Islam." Some of us, because we got some knowledge, we are trying to people, hey, you should do this, I just practice it starting from yesterday. I'm telling other people I should follow it. No, especially ulama. You see them go on TV, you have to do this, you have to do this. Hey, wait a minute, man. Let's talk with the fundamentals first, lah. Not something which doing supererogatory prayers, sunnah prayers. Let's start with some. Make things easy for people. When you started with the obligatory ones and you taste the sweetness of that, then you want to find more. Hey, where can I do more? Then I take a bit more. Then I do on. Then I take a bit more. Then before long, you are doing more than what the ustad is teaching. Oh, this one cannot, that one cannot. Cannot, then what can do? This is quite normal. Of course, you can't do this, you can't do that. So, you are the cause of alienation. However, whichever of you leads the people in prayer, let him be light. Short surah. Things that are not long, That's why Imam Haddad has a schedule, a table, I hope I can give you, I have it at home and we practice it every day, that for every raka'ah of every prayer, from Friday to next Thursday, Fajr, Zuhur, Asar, Maghrib, Isha, he reads different surah. And I follow him. It's not a sunnah, except some of them are sunnah. For example, the Prophet read Surah As-Sajdah on Friday morning, first rak'at of Subuh prayers. Imam Haddad did the same thing. It's quite long. Maybe it's 15 minutes, or less than that. 12 minutes maybe. Okay? And some mosques do that. They read As-Sajdah. And in the middle of the surah, they do a prostration of recitation, sujud tilawah. And they get up again and continue the surah. And the second rak'ah, he read Insan, Surah Al-Insan, which is quite long also. Some mosques do that in the Fajr, which is sunnah. And I always try to attend the mosque that read these two sunnah. It's okay in the morning, I'm not going to work, pension, so we can spend as much time standing up there listening to the surah, very nice surah. But otherwise, you should not make it long. Okay? And whichever of you leads the people to prayer, let him be light, for amongst them, that means among the people who pray behind you as an imam, are sick. They are the elderly, and they are those who have needs. They want to go, do the prayer, and then go back. This fellow go there singing his own nighttime Quran, very nice. It's not a mandatory thing, Yeah. It's very scary hadith we read about this, that quite long hadith, it will take a long time. But anyway, basically, somebody who's been gifted by Allah with a nice voice, and he reads the Quran, and he hafaz the Quran. Quran is in his heart, okay? And he is enjoying reading it. That's how he learned how to read it. But not the people behind him. They are trying to finish the prayer and then go to work or do something that they have to do. So also say, be light. That's why Imam Haddad came up with a table. They say on Friday night, today is what day? Monday, Maghrib, read Qul Ya Al-Kafirun, Qul Allahu Ahad. How short can it be? Okay? Isha, do Al-Zalzala and At-Takathur. These two. On Tuesday night, Maghrib, is Qul A'udhu bi Rabbil Falaq, Qul A'udhu bi Rabbin Nas. And then in Isha is Alam Nashrah Laka Sadrak and Iza Ja'a Nasrullahi wal Fath. Very, very short surah. Sometimes I read this surah, I pray with my wife, I read surah. She says, I cannot finish my Al-Fatihah. When you finish your Fatiha, you read the surah. So I follow with my Al-Fatihah. But before I can finish Fatiha, you finish surah, you already go ruku. I said, because it's a short surah. How you have to slow down, you know. So there are some very important things for us to remember. And it's all the surah that is in the table, which was assembled by Imam Haddad, which was collected by my father and made into a table. You say what day of the week, which rak'ah, which prayer. That's a table. I can give it to you in one of the. My father collected it and put up a table, and we put it in our house where we can refer to when we went to pray. Okay, now we memorize all the surah already. We can go on and read it. Okay, Dhuhr, Asar are the same. Normally the shortest surah is Maghrib. Why? Because Maghrib is the shortest of time. From the time you enter Maghrib until finish Maghrib is 20 minutes. So you only have time to take wudu straight away. You don't do prayer before. You straight away do Maghrib. Because if 20 minutes, no more Maghrib. Isha is delayed by Imam Shafi'i. Isha is delayed to 1 hour and 10 minutes after Maghrib. But there's no more Maghrib. Maghrib is finished 20 minutes. On Ramadan, it's added 10 minutes for makan. That's all. Buka puasa. So Maghrib is something that all the short surah is in Maghrib. Then the long surah is Asar and Isha and Fajr. Fajr normally longest surah. Yeah? But it's something that we can memorize. It's all in the first juzu, you know, the 30th juzu. The last juzu of the Quran, all from surah from there. All the table of schedule. Okay? So remember you are praying, but there was one time Prophet Muhammad was praying, and while he's praying, he heard the child crying at the back. Mother was praying, and the child was left behind, and the child cried. He hastened the prayer. He quickly finished the prayer because in consideration of the child who's crying. This is the softness, the rahmah, mercy of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay. Another example of this is his anger when he saw people spitting towards the front of the mosque. Know that sometimes when we are in prayer, there is a sunnah in prayer when you pray, that if you have some remnants of food, you cannot eat or drink in prayer. Okay, that's the first law. No eating or drinking in prayer. Okay, but sometimes you have something you didn't brush your teeth or some remnants of food in your tongue, between your teeth, and it comes out while you are in prayer. What to do now? You don't want to accidentally swallow it, because then you will null your prayers. So you spit. But if you have to spit out the remnants of food, but not spit saliva, different thing. You spit towards your left. This is something that you learn today. From now on, if you are in prayer, you find something, spit. It's like that. Not by collecting saliva and chpoi, go like that. No. Just by blowing the small thing in your beak, put at the tip of your lips, and you can't even hear it sometimes, but it goes to the left. Anywhere you want to go, you're eating, you want to spit to your left. But here, the Prophet, example, he got very angry when somebody spit to the front. Even then he gets angry. Because it has to do with salat. It has to do with Allah's law. Yeah? As narrated by Bukhari and Muslim in their Sahih collection, a Muslim must be vigilant in preserving the cleanliness and sanctity of the mosque, and it is not permissible to throw rubbish in them or to spit in them, as was mentioned in the section on the Prophet's enjoining the upkeep of cleanliness in the mosque. Okay? So it is bad etiquette, to spit in a mosque. And to spit to the front, to the qiblat. No. Spontaneous food is to the left. I heard of this story of a sheikh who went across Arabia looking for knowledge on hadith. And he found one sheikh. He found a sheikh who is knowledgeable. So he followed the sheikh. And he wants to ask the sheikh the question that is in his mind about a hadith. And when they were praying, the sheikh spit to the front. Sheikh spit to the front. He saw this. And after his salam, he didn't approach the sheikh anymore. He went back. If the sheikh doesn't have the adab, how can he take knowledge from somebody who doesn't have the adab? So we standing here is no joke, no. We got some responsible things to do up here, no. If we don't do something that, that's why it's very high pressure, no, to be a speaker, nowadays. But we have to teach something which we also do. We have to tell people not to do which we don't do. Otherwise, we will be the first to punish in hell. Okay? So, because adab, people cancel out. Allahu Akbar. Another example is the anger of people overburning and harassing others. Bukhari in his Sahih and other narrated by Zayd bin Thabit who said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu made a small chamber for himself. He has a small room he made, I think it's outside the house, out of palm reeds, He put palm around it and he prays like he call it ma'bad. A ma'bad is solitude, place for solitude, right? And he prayed there. He came to pray there, and to pray there are sunnah prayers, not obligatory prayers. Obligatory prayers he pray in the masjid. He never pray obligatory prayer at home. Non-super obligatory he prays at home. Another night, so when he went to pray there, some people followed him, behind him. Okay? Because they see the Prophet praying, they pray, right? So the next night, they came again, and Prophet was late for them. Prophet didn't come out. Prophet stayed outside. He stayed in their house, he didn't come out. And they raised their voices. This is again etiquette. They call, they are making noise. Where are you? Where are you? Waiting, like hoo-ha, make noise. They raise their voices and throw pebbles at the door of the Prophet's house. Where are you? You are waiting here, we are waiting to pray with you. You pray, we want to pray with you. Although the intention is good, but the way is not proper for the Prophet ﷺ. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ then came out to them in an angered state. He was very angry, and he said, you kept up your action until I thought it would be written against you. That means you continue with throwing pebbles and making noise. I was waiting for a revelation to come and to, to be written against you as a sin, waiting for that, but it didn't come. Then he said, pray, go and pray in your own houses. He asked them to go away. Go and pray in your own houses, for the best of a person's prayer is that which is in his own house, except for obligatory prayers. Right? Which means he wants to be alone and pray in solitude to Allah SWT in his private ma'bad, and people are showing lack of etiquette and want to pray with him. That's why he didn't come out. He was waiting for them to go away, or some law to tell them this is wrong, Hafiz al-Asqalani said in Fathul Bari, the apparent meaning is that his anger was caused by their gathering without his instruction. They were not sufficed by the hint he gave them by not coming out. By not coming out, he's thinking, go away lah. Why you wait for me? I'm not coming out. So they'll still wait and throw stones at him. That was a hint, but he didn't get the hint. Rather, they went too far by throwing pebbles at his door and following him. Or his anger was caused because he delayed coming out because of his concern for them, not so as no sin be written upon them. See, he did it because of his for them, so that the prayer would not seem to be obligatory upon them, but they thought otherwise. It's not super. They don't have to pray behind him because it's super obligatory prayers, not mandatory prayers. Okay. So by his reaction, this is how some people say it's not an hadith, but sometimes a hadith is an affirmation or a negation of an act from the Prophet. Prophet tell him, this one don't do, this one do, this one avoid, this one do. Sometimes by his nod, sometimes by the keeping quiet, no? Sometimes by avoiding things, sometimes by looking away. So not everything is written in hadith that way. So the reaction of the Prophet is considered as hadith. Like the woman who came to him, who came to the Prophet and said, "Oh Prophet, I have committed zina. Please punish me." Prophet turned away. He doesn't want to accept that testimony. And she came again, she repeated again, "Prophet, I have committed zina. Please punish me." And she turned away. And she said that 4 times. After the 4th time, the Prophet said, "I will punish you." Because 4 of declaration by the woman equivalent to 4 witnesses. So he punished her. Anyway, the hadith is very long, and I will get too emotional when I read this hadith because it's very, very emotional. It is a lesson for us that if somebody who has done a sin, committed a sin, definitely Allah will forgive you if you seek for forgiveness. And when He forgives you, He will not be brought up in Akhirat. Not be brought up. Right? Like we read in the Ratib. Huh? What is it? Rabbana ighfir lana. What do you read in Ratib? No. Wamhu. We read, Allah forgive me and wipe all my sins away. So forgive me is what? No, forgive means you ask for forgiveness and Allah forgives you. But Imam Abdallah extended to wamhul anana. Ma kana minna. So he's saying that wipe, because when somebody go in the next life and he has committed a sin, and because the sin has been forgiven, there are no trace of sin except it's like a scar. The scar will remain. But Imam Abdallah asking, I also don't want the scar. Remove the scar. Wamhul kana minna. Wipe it off. So when we ask both forgiveness and wiping means no scar. Although you're not punished for the scar, but it's a sign of a former forgiven sin. Okay? Here my time is up.
I think we can finish the anger. 3 more paragraph.
Which one?
The next one we can do the generosity.
The severity of his anger. Boleh kan?
Yeah.
My permission granted? Your Lord? Okay, the severity of his anger. How severe is anger? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, whatever severity, never diverted him from the truth and upright speech and conduct. Anger causes turmoil in the soul and alters the temperament. An angry person might be diverted from upright speech and conduct in such a situation. We have seen this. We have experienced a lot of people, when they get angry, the shaitan comes into them and remove their sensible logic application, you know, as we see this, road bullies, road bullies, actually the offense probably is very small, but because the ego is big and people are watching, they react in a negative manner. All the logic goes out the window. All the things that the person didn't know, because he saw what the person did. It's created by shaitan, because once and you get angry, the shaitan resides in your heart. And he helps you get more angry, more fan, like satay, burning satay. And you get angry. And you say things all kinds of ways. Even, that's why when I was young, and I was told we get married, say when 2 husband and wife fight, let only 1 person do the shouting. If 2 person do the shouting, the hearts go further away. Why? Because when hearts are far away, it's because, you are shouting because the hearts are far away, then the hearts cannot hear each other anymore. That's why the hearts are going to be very far apart. So let one party do the shouting. When you finish the side, okay, now let's come back and talk logic. Let's discuss what happened. This is the proper way to handle discourse within a marriage, inshallah. Okay, to this end, Rasulullah SAW said, teach and make things easy. That's why Aman asked me to cover this topic because it's related. Says make things easy for people, not make things difficult. And make things easy, teach and make things easy. And if you become angry, be silent. Every time you become angry, shut them up. I tried that and it seemed to work. They say, we were taught, I don't know if it's hadith or not, but if you are angry when you're standing up, you shut up. You still get angry, sit down. You still get angry, lie down. You still get angry, go and take wudu. You still get angry, pray 2 rakat. And you still get angry, may Allah help you. Even the prayer also cannot help you. Yeah? I've tried that. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't work. Because we are human, weak. I must declare, I cannot declare it works all the time, but it helps, definitely. Once you pray, then it's time, okay, time to leave the house. If you're, or the office, office firefighting in the office. Because really, all the things you say when you're angry, it's not what you want to say. It's the devil that wants you to say. Yeah? And if you become angry, be silent. If you become angry, be silent. And if you become angry, be silent. Prophet said that 3 times. Right? Allah Azza wa Jal, however, protected his Prophet and our Master Muhammad from all of this. And so his anger did not divert him from the truth, nor from absolute impartiality in all of his words and deeds. So because he's a perfect human, taught by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he could handle people getting angry, And there was one Sahaba who came to him, Ya Allah, make dua for me. Or Rasulullah, make dua for me. He said, don't get angry. And I said, yeah, okay, but make dua for me. Don't get angry. Yeah, but I want dua from you. Don't get angry. 3 times the Prophet told him not to get angry. Prophet must have been able to see his trait. And most of his problems come from being angry. And when you're angry, how you want to ask Allah from dua, right? Say astaghfirullah. Even in fasting, where Rasulullah taught us that if you are fasting and somebody make you angry, you say Allahumma inni sa'im, which means, oh Allah, I am fasting. You keep repeating this. I experienced it before in my life. It was very bad. Angry, somebody was very angry with me. It was Ramadan. And I was saying, Allahumma inni sa'im, Allahumma inni sa'im, Allah. And the more I said it, the more this person getting angry. What is this for talking Allahumma inni sa'im? He doesn't know what it means, but it was for me. I'm fasting. Oh God, oh Lord, I'm fasting. Help me, I'm fasting. But it helped me not to bounce back at him. I kept quiet and go in my car, and he slammed my car and I went off. So this is how it is. Sometimes you cannot fight the Satan, so it's better to leave him alone. Okay? I used to write down, and then Abdullah bin Amr said, I used to write down everything I heard from Rasulullah in order to commit to memory. Quraysh, one of the Sahaba called Quraysh, prohibited me from doing so, saying, that means he was writing, he take notes, like him taking notes, whatever I say, he take notes. Prophet said, he take notes. Then this Quraysh told him, Prophet, don't do it. He asked him, would you write down everything you hear when the Prophet ﷺ is a human being who speaks both when angry and when content? That means he's putting doubt on this, on Abdullah bin Amr, which is the son of Abdullah bin Abu Bakr. So he said, don't write down, because he will say whatever is right when he's cool, or whatever is right, whatever he's saying when he's angry. So the Prophet got very angry, So he said, I stopped writing. So he stopped writing. Then mentioned it to the Prophet. He told the Prophet, just now I was writing and this person said this. And the Prophet said him, write. Told him to write. For by the one in whose hand is my soul, nothing comes from it but the truth. Write. Whatever you write. I got this advice in 1980. I went to visit one big ulama in Tarim. His name is Hassan bin Abdullah bin Umar Ashatri. And I love him very much. He called me my son. And every time I go to Tarim at that time, I used to go to Sudan for work. On the way there, on the way back, I stopped Tarim, I visit him. So I visit him, and he loves durian. Allah yarham. So I used to buy the durian, lempuk durian, and I used to go see him. So one day I was in the mosque and I go and see him and give to him. And he gave me an advice later on, you know. He you know how he handles visitors. That day I was in the mosque privately with him, just me and him, fine. But when we go one time and I want to go back, I want to see him, there is a queue of people, hundreds of people queue to see him, to ask for prayers and all. So I went in the queue, I had a queue. When I came to him, Abdul Rahman, how are you? Okay. Then what he does with everybody here, he look at a person and he give you 3 advice. Exactly what you need. And you go. Because he cannot, to hundreds of people, no, in his school. So I say, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One of the things he told me is that write all your agreements. Even if it's with somebody who's wearing a white kufiya. That was one of the advice. The second advice is don't break Siratul Rahim. Make Siratul Rahim. And I don't remember the third one. But that was good advice. And I've been cheated many times, business people, by a word of honor, so-called word of honor. There is no honor in people. So write down. So here the Prophet saying, write down because that is the truth. Because you write what you hear, isn't it? But when you don't write, you tend to be mistake. You are all humans, make mistake. I didn't say that, but I didn't say this. No. Here you are. Now got phone can record. Better still. Your voice also can be authenticated. Yeah. Okay, that covers the topic. And then maybe we cover next month, inshallah, if I'm still around. I think that they're very good. This is my favorite topic. The generosity of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. My favorite topic. And that is my formula. If any of you raise your hands if you want to be rich. You don't want to be rich. I have to talk to you. Everybody wants to be rich. But most of us don't know what is rich. We want to be rich, but we don't know what is rich. What is wealth? Anyway, we better keep it suspended in the next week. So next month, try to practice what we learned today, inshallah, and maybe we get an opportunity to meet again and we continue our session, inshallah. هذا بالله التوفيق والهداية. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Inshallah, Jazakallah khair Habib for this discussion today. I think controlling and management of anger is something that most of us we really need on a daily basis, especially hearing how the Prophet deals with his anger when things are not for Allah's sake. So we open Q&A, possible for 2 questions. If you have, please raise your hand.
No, age before beauty.
Okay, Bismillah. Thank you very much, Habib. So sorry for being a bit late today. Okay, my question's related more to, and we mentioned just now, because when we get angry or so and so forth, shaitan comes inside or something like that, right? So how do we deal with someone who does get angry? Like, a lot of this is if we get angry, right? Okay, we understand that, and when we do get angry, yes, there is, okay, sit down, take wudu, and so on and so forth. But that we have to be conscious to be able to do that.
Yes.
Right? And that means we have already snapped out of the anger. Because when someone goes angry, especially those who like let go, they don't remember to say, hey, wait a minute, I got to sit down somewhere. So that's my question on what's the best way, right? And I mean, in that sense, how did Rasulullah deal with people who had this kind of anger, right? Because I'm sure in the time of Jahiliyyah, and when Rasulullah was doing his da'wah, I'm sure there were people like this as well. Inshallah, thank you.
Thank you. So anger is a downward spiral of your fundamental senses, downward spiral. If you don't arrest it, it will go down and down and down. Worst will with the support of shaitan. Yeah. When somebody gets angry, actually you're angry with yourself. You're angry that you can handle the situation. You're angry that you cannot shape that person to your desire. You're angry that you cannot convince the person, Actually, you're angry with yourself. So that's one answer. The second answer is when you talk about if you're standing up, keep quiet. You're standing up, if you're talking, keep quiet. You're standing up. It can even make the person angry, more angry kan. You first, because you're all the same. That's why it's better only one person do the shouting, not both. Anyway, if you can reach the stage of, say, excuse me, I'm going to take wudu, then you're in control.
Yep.
Then you're in control. You know, this is not him talking. This is not her talking. This is shaitan talking. So you give the person an excuse. Compassion comes in. Kesian dia. Kesian dia. Kan? Lagi dia marah lagi. So it's a spiral, downward spiral lah. Huh?
But how do we then get them out of the downward spiral?
No, that's why you have to me lah. The last after I pray, still going on, and happen, I will leave. Excuse me, I'm going out for a while. No, excuse yourself, leave. Because you cannot help the person at the point. Only he can help himself because he's angry with himself that he cannot control himself. Later on, he says, I see so many things I shouldn't say. Right? So I think for us is how to control ourselves, to mirror Prophet Muhammad SAW. But for other people, I say let him solve his own problem. But I think if I go away, if I'm the subject of his being angry, then I go away, the element of is gone. So that there is time to think, oh, what have I done? Or But the stronger person, the strongest person, is to be able to come back to the person who get angry, say, actually, some of it is my fault, and I apologize. Immediately you will cool down. But that's difficult to do. Because you went through a lot to listen to this fellow shouting. You went through a lot. And say, no, okay, sorry, I contributed to the problem. This is what Islam is all about. This is what, because when two people fight, the first one to come, he gets 90% of the, 9% of the reward. The one who's responding, okay, I accept it, only get 10%. So the first one to come back will get a bigger portion of the reward.
Second question.
Assalamu alaikum, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I want to ask something that, can Prophet Muhammad still can help me if I ask the dua from him?
Will the Prophet Muhammad SAW help me?
Yeah.
What do you think?
You
don't know.
I kind of know, but that just want to confirm.
What is your opinion? What is that you know?
For me, I believe that he passed away, so he cannot hear me, and he cannot help anybody anymore.
Okay.
That's what my belief is.
All right, good.
But the mosque I go and the people I talk in Malaysia, most of the people, they think that Prophet still here and still solve the problem. Prophet Muhammad
I see your point. Many people have to know that the way that once you die, you can't do anything to the living.
Yeah.
The answer is no. When you die, you can do a lot for the living. And the living can do a lot for the dead. This according to Hadith Muhammad SAW. He says that when your parents die, they are in barzakh. If they have been good Muslims and they are in a position to do so, every Friday your deeds will be shown to them. Whatever you do for the whole week, good or bad, will be shown to your parents.
My parents who been passed away.
Wow, your parents already died.
Is it in a hadith or something?
Yeah, of course. How can I tell something which is not in the hadith? How can you not something?
Because I have read the Bukhari and Muslim, I didn't come through any hadith like this.
You should read the right Bukhari and Muslim.
Which one you suggest?
There are some, you see, Bukhari used to be very fat.
Yeah.
Now Bukhari is thin because they've taken out a lot of hadith from there.
Okay.
So find a good teacher. And this is not what I hear from my teachers, and you brought up all the way to the Prophet Muhammad. The Prophet said every Friday, every Friday your deeds will be shown to your parents in barzakh. And if your deeds have been good, they will say, oh Allah, please increase your guidance to him so he will increase his goodness. Isn't that a prayer from a person who is dead to Allah to ask you to grant you more guidance to do more good? Right? And if he see your deeds are negative, bad deeds, he say, Ya Allah, forgive him and give him guidance as you have given us guidance in the dunya. This is quoted by the Prophet. Okay? So this is one, how the people, dead people can benefit the living. How can the living benefit the dead? There is a story in Bukhari. So I hope you read it, right? Bukhari says that there's this book, maybe I should reserve that. But the Bukhari, I'm not sure of the Muslim Bukhari, but it's hadith book. And this man, or experience of a person whose neighbor died. His neighbor died. And after a few days, he dreamt his neighbor in the afterlife. And he saw the neighbor and he gave salam to the neighbor. He was sitting on the floor. The neighbor was sitting in a very high level, high dais, and sitting there with in comfort, nice clothing, crown, treasure all around him.